Yes. People, what's going on? Ziga Talks Football. We're back again with another video. Today is the North London Derby preview. We've also gotten some Zubimendi news. There's been an interesting commercial. Plus, we got to talk about the game. You want to know something? The lead up to these games, the North London Derby, now that there's a little bit of a gulf in class over the last 2 years, has not been that interesting. But today's very interesting. Arsenal kind of having a dip in their season, 3 bad results in a row. Tottenham going through in the Cup versus Liverpool, Sky going through in the FA Cup. You guys are having a little bit of a rise this point of the season, and Arsenal going on a little bit of dip. But it's still, I feel like the games are not as entertaining as they were when we were competing against each other for top 4 and everything else. That was crazy. We would win at our ground, you'd win at your ground. We kind of had your number recently.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason it's not been good for us in this game. And at this moment in time, both of our squads are looking bare bones. So it's not looking like it's going to be a great game. But, I mean, because of that could give us a proper good one. It could just be like one of the proper old school games, like back in 08, 09. There used to be 4-4s, 5-4s, all these types of games. So we might get a high goal scoring game. Quality-wise, it's not there.
Let's get straight into the game. Before we go any further, people, do me a favor. If you're watching this on the playback or you're watching this live, give us your score predictions in the comments right now. Also, go check out George's channel. As you can see here, we both have our nameplates for what our social medias and our YouTube channels, and the link to his channel is in the title, and we'll be redirecting to him at the end of the video. But before we go any further, let's do the team news. Team news. Bro, you guys got a long list. You want to start with yours?
I mean, I can change some of them for you. So we've got the same amount of players out as you now because Richarlison's back, Ben Davies are back, both been spotted in training today. But yeah, looking at you got no Fraser Forster, no Vicario, no Romero, no Adogi, no Van der Ven. Bentancur, yeah, he's out until at least next week because of concussion protocol. And then Odebert, yeah, he's not looking like he's going to be back anytime soon. So yeah, man, we're still down to bare bones. We've only got a few players back. You could see Ben Davies come into the lineup and Archie Gray shifted back onto the bench, but I doubt it. I doubt you're going to see much of a change to the Tottenham team that we've seen over the last couple of games. I think it's going to be a very similar one just to maintain consistency.
Okay, so from the Arsenal perspective, Jorginho is doubtful. He did not look like he was 100% in that game, coming off at the end. Calafiori, doubtful. Muscular issue, we don't know what's going on with him. Ben White should be returning at some point, but I don't expect him to return ahead of the North London Derby. Tomiyasu, God knows what's going on with that guy. His knee injury never ends. He's always injured. The muscular injury with Ethan, he should be back early February. They're saying Bukayo Saka is going to be back late February, but I would say he's most likely going to be out until at least March. And Jesus got injured versus Manchester United, and he's out for the season, bro. And you know something? Odegaard has been playing with an injury for the last 4 weeks. It's very visible.
Odegaard could be a doubt, but even if Odegaard does play, it's a risky game to do it in because we saw what happened to Tottenham when we forced Romero and Van der Ven to play when they're still a bit injured, and it's cost us this last month not having them around. So if he does risk Odegaard, because when Cass was at the game and he was saying Odegaard wasn't just holding his ankle, he didn't have just the ankle, it's the hamstring that he's holding on to. I mean, you guys are having quite a few hamstring injuries, very similar to us. I don't think this is because a lot of people allude to the fact that it's the way that Ange plays football and the way that I generally don't think that. I think it's the high intensity games, the small squads, that's what's causing these players to have hamstrings. Their body just can't keep up with the fact that there's 2 games a week with no break consistently. Like usually what we've had, we usually have a winter break where the players get 1 week off. I mean, last year you guys got to go to Dubai. Like players aren't getting these breaks.
Yeah, by the way, we're gonna go to Dubai this year too. Now that we're out the FA Cup.
Oh yeah, you'll have a week. Oh, but the thing is, you only have a weekend because what's happened is the FA Cup games have been drawn on the week because you know our Carabao Cup fixtures like the February 4th, February 5th. On that weekend, that's when the FA Cup game is. So you can have a break, but it's only going to be for about 5 days.
It's going to be 5 days.
Yeah.
5 days.
But that's dependent on if you guys obviously do have a good game at St. James Park or
not. I think regardless what happens at St. James Park, we're still going to go.
You think?
Yeah, because the final's not until like a month after.
It's fair. I'm just more thinking that I don't know if he's going to want to do like a 1 week training camp and you've got a Champions League game midweek. He's probably going to want to stay around, prepared, depending whether that Champions League game is going to be home or away.
Dubai's
As well.
not that far, bro. Me and you
Actually,
both.
no, tell a lie. You won't have a Champions League game that week, depending on where you finish, which is looking more than likely you won't.
Is Dubai that far, bro? It's not that far. It's literally
no, 100%. But like, take all the time out for flights when you should be prepping for a big game, which you might not be. So you got to wait till you get down there.
We'll have to wait and see. Right now, though, before we go any further, let me just show you guys the predicted lineup, what they're saying. So the predicted lineup that they have on FootMob is very simple, George. They have Arsenal with a team with Raya, Partey at right back, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Moreno, Rice, Odegaard, Martinelli, Havertz, and Trossard. Now, I would make a change to this. My first change would be Chuck Martinelli on the left, put Raheem Sterling in the right wing position, play players in their actual positions, and then Thomas Partey, put him in the midfield, put Marino on the bench, and put Timber in the starting 11. Timber's not injured, as you can see here. He's not on the injury list. So why is Timber not starting this game? And then as Miles Lewis-Skelly, I'm okay with Miles Lewis-Skelly there. I'm okay with Rice on that left side, and I'm okay with Martinelli on the left side. And on the right-hand side, it's going to be Timber, Odegaard, and Raheem Sterling. And you know what? Raheem Sterling, as much as he gets a lot of criticism, he had himself a decent game versus Man United. But yeah, what do you think about your team? First of all, I don't know, why is Austin in goal?
Yeah, I don't know. They've obviously not updated it for a while, but it'll be Kinski playing, no doubt about that. He's had some very stellar performances in the Spurs shirt, 2 games, 2 clean sheets. Pedro Porro will start. Dragusa. I expect the back line to be the exact same, to be honest. I don't really expect any changes, even if Ben Davies does come in and start. Or come in and be available. He's just 1 or 2 days back into training, so I feel like you may not take the risk with him. The midfield is probably where we might see some changes. I don't think Pap Sarr's is going to start. Sarr's had I don't know what it is with him. He's a young player, so it's very hard to judge where they're at. And when a team's being poor, you tend to see young players. Some of them thrive and sort of look like the best out of a poor bunch, but then some of them, it affects their development. So because he's been in a good Spurs team and he looked really good when everything's clicking, he's clicking. But where the team's been poor and it's been up and down, it's been so choppy changey. I don't know. He feels like he doesn't look settled in the midfield. He'll have a good game, then he has one where he's struggling, but then he'll come on off the bench and again, big impact. So it's a bit weird with Pap Sarr at the moment. He's still a very good player to keep around and not anything like that, but I don't think he'll start this game. I wouldn't start him personally. I think we need to go Maddison, Basuma, Bergvall in midfield, sort of do a very similar setup to what we've done against Liverpool.
But he out of Lavia, Basecek, Mainu, and what's it called? What's the next guy? And your guy is getting the second most minutes.
Yeah. Sarr will be getting the most minutes because Sarr's been around for what, 3 years? It's been around since Conte. We signed him years and years ago.
Are you not putting him in that bracket with the youngsters?
I put him in that bracket because of his age, but I feel like experience-wise, he's got a bit more experience and I expect to see him excelling a little bit more. I wouldn't say he's standing out from the crowd, though, at the moment. He's just sort of blending in, very similar to all the young players, the Garnachos and so on. Like they had good spells, but they're sort of fading out when the teams aren't good. So I feel like Sarr just needs to be in a good environment when the team's more settled, and you're going to see him do it playing his best football. But yeah, no, I'd like to see Maddison come in that midfield. It gives us a bit more control.
So Maddison, Bergvall, and Basuma.
Yeah, Maddison.
What happened? Isn't Kulusevski supposed to be in the midfield?
So Kulu has been in the midfield at times this season when we have Bentancur available. I feel like when Bentancur's in there, and you could do Bentancur, Sarr, Kulusevski, they're a very good combination because they all balance off each other very well. But with this, when you have Basuma in there, and obviously I think Bergvall's going to play just due to form and the way he has been, I feel like just off of form and their past couple of performances, Bergvall was good against Tynemouth and he was class against Liverpool. And then you look at that first that performance from Basuma against Liverpool, he's not going to get dropped. So I feel like I want to match that midfield. And Kulusevski playing out on the right doesn't really stay on the right like Brennan Johnson does. The biggest problem right now is Brennan Johnson adds nothing to our overall game. When you're talking about trying,
he was adding goals, though.
He adds goals, but like a good player can add goals in a very good team. But when a team's bad, he's going to look like the worst player in the team because he's outside of goal scoring, his traits are near to none. He didn't look out of place against out of league players. Him and Werner are very similar. They run in straight lines. They can't beat their man. And even when you're getting the ball on him against Tamworth defenders, he doesn't look comfortable with Gal. Like, how can you be a professional footballer, 100K a week, not looking good against a guy getting paid £250 a month? Like, it doesn't make sense. You should be dribbling through these guys like nothing. And he looked uncomfortable. So it shows more than enough for me.
Not even comfortable in his own ends.
Bro.
I hear it. I hear it. But before we go any further, people, let me know, what are Tottenham doing anything in the transfer window? It's the January transfer window.
Yeah, very similar to you guys. I feel like we're opportunists, isn't it? We wait for other clubs to move for us to make our move, and we wait to see an opportunity so we can just snap at it. At the moment, we've obviously got Kinski in. That was one that we was looking to bring in the summer, but we've now accelerated the deal for this month. So that was already planned. But I feel like Spurs are just waiting for a few moves to click for something to happen to know who we're going to bring in. Kolo Muani is one of the players that we're looking at the moment. I'm not a big fan of him. He's better than Werner and Johnson, but I don't feel like he does enough in front of goal for him to add to us consistently going forward. He's a player that misses big chances.
He's always linked to all of our clubs. Yeah, I genuinely don't think he's good enough.
I don't think he's good enough. But I think when he moves, well, with Kvaratskhelia moving, I feel like you're now going to see Muani move. You're going to see a lot of these deals click off because now a lot of teams are going to be moving off the back of that. So
you did a loan with an option to buy. But I don't think he's better than what you currently have at striker.
Better than Johnson and Werner. That's the thing. And he will be he could play on the wing, innit? That's what Spurs are looking at, bringing him on off another wing option. For me, yeah, I agree with you. He's very similar to like a Marcus Rashford in that sense. I don't think he's consistent in front of goal. Apparently, he's been earmarked to move to London, whether that's your side or our side. Rashford, that's another player. And outside of that, Spurs are looking to make moves, but I think it's just very dependent on what happens. I think all the players have been linked with.
You heard about Arsenal's move today?
Zubi. Yeah, of course.
The first thing I heard, the first thing I thought of was Callum from Kopish going Zubi.
Yeah, that one. The way he was loving life. I literally remember the midnight streams they were doing. When I saw it, I was like, nah, Arsenal fans got to get them back for this. But that's a good move. The thing is, for me, when I look at this deal, is the only bit where I'm concerned was, like, I can see your point of view. You're going to be very happy as a fan because you're thinking, yeah, the team's being serious. They're trying to do something and they're improving in a good area. But for me, for one, that's Partey's replacement. It's very clear to see. So that's why they're planning for the summer.
Or regardless, we've been talking about missing Xhaka. We've been
big facts. But the problem here, Gal, we've got to have it right. It's January. You could be doing or negotiating this deal in February, December. You could do this outside the transfer window if it's for the end of the season.
To be fair, there is a level of PR in it. I hear it. But what I am not going to do is I'm not going to take away from how big of a potential signing this is. Now, I just want to show you something. I don't know if you've seen it, but Arsenal are not set up well for the future. We need to future-proof our team. And 100%. This kind of helps us future-proof our team, because I seen some stuff today that kind of had me concerned. And it was from the Athletic. The Athletic were basically speaking about Arsenal squad construction going forward, and some of the players we do have and some of the players we don't, we won't have for much longer. And if you actually look at it, our squad majority, some of these guys are going to be running down the deals.
I think what the problem is
you're going to have. Sorry, let me just show you. Actually, it will make more sense why we're doing what we're doing right now. And
no, I totally get it. I feel like the problem was when you look back 5 years, Arsenal had a flourish of academy kids coming through. So your squad had a lot of players available, but now you've only. He's only the thing is he's only progressed 2 academy kids into the full first team, and that's the problem here, Gal. Like, he's only Waneri and Lewis Skelly have been progressed over. If you look 4 or 5 years ago,
it's not normal.
Flourish. There was Nelson, there was Willock, there was Saka, there was Maitland-Niles. You had quite a few players coming through.
Is it normal though to have 2 18-year-olds in your first 11 when you're competing for the league? That is impressive.
No, but obviously, I'm talking. You could have older academy kids. I don't know what Arsenal's academy is like at the moment. Obviously,
we sold ESR. We sold Eddie Nketiah. And you could agree with me that we got decent money for the two of them. Crystal Palace right now, Eddie and Kitty can't even hit a barn door. But the only academy guy who's playing well right now from Arsenal, who I would say is Benacer Vermaelen. No, I mean what's the guy? The guy who just went to Aston Villa. What's his name?
Donny Marlin.
Marlin, yeah. Some of these guys are doing okay, but we have a lot of academy players all over the place. Look at Omar Hutchinson. He's doing good.
Yeah, I know he's Arsenal's.
So this is what I'm saying. Jorginho's gonna go. Partey's gonna go. That's two midfielders right there gone. Bringing in Zubimendi now, pre-agreeing 50 million for Zubimendi. That is a quality midfielder that can do what they do.
For them. No, I agree. When I look at your midfield
and we can also upgrade Mazou Skelly to a defender, and we also need to maybe get one more. But before we go any further, we need 3 attackers, bro. I need an attacker this window, and I need 2 more in the summer.
Bingo, and that's the problem, bro. And that's
so now let's talk about that. Arsenal are looking at Vlahovic, Benjamin Sesko. I've been doing so many videos. There's an emergency meeting today with the Cronkies. They should have done this a couple weeks ago, but they're doing an emergency meeting today. The conversations between Sesko and Vlahovic in January. And if we go for Sesko, that means we're dropping 70 mil. And if we go for Vlahovic, that means we're getting a loan with a potential option to buy, and only if Juventus allows it. Juventus
that's
are
the
not.
Thing. Juventus only going to allow it if they can bring someone in, i.e., Kolo Muani. So that's what I mean.
He's a starter for them, though. I don't think Kolo Muani is better than Vlahovic. I don't get it.
I think he does. They don't really like Vlahovic. I've saw their fan bases turn against him. I don't think Thiago Motta's a huge fan of him. But my biggest thing is, look, that's it. Again, as you guys are looking to plan forward for the future, and you should be planning for now. You're amidst the season, and you're amidst a title charge. I don't think you're in a title charge, so that's why I'm making that, because yeah, man, I don't think you guys are there anymore.
We are still in the title. Look, if Liverpool drop points to Nottingham Forest today, and hypothetically we do beat you at our ground, which we tend to do,
you're still in the race. I'm not taking nothing. Mathematically, you're always going to be there.
And if we go and sign somebody, if we go and sign somebody, the Jesus injury has made Arsenal now want to go into the market this January.
But that's the problem. It should have been wanting to do it beforehand, Egal. And you know it yourself better than anyone else. You've recognized for quite some time, as all Arsenal fans have universally, is you need some attackers. You need someone outside of Saka that can consistently score you goals. Kai Havertz, just like when you had those listed out, for one, Lewis Skelly is a midfielder, for one, like I said, and Kai Havertz should be listed as a midfielder. So if you bring Zubimendi in, you've got cover in that midfield already. I don't think that's the issue. It's that.
But you know what the issue is, though? Arteta and the board told Sesko in the summer, we're too honest. We told them, bro, when you get here, you might have to play some shifts on the left wing. You might have to work your way. Kai Havertz is going to be seniority, and you're going to have to fight for your place. You're not guaranteed a spot. Instead of doing what Chelsea do.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, but look at Chelsea. They just lied to players and they just say, yeah, you're going to come here. You're going to get minutes.
Nah, but Chelsea's scum. It's a scum of a team, bro. Let's not lie. Like the whole club itself, it just has that sort of painted picture on it where everyone knows everything they do. They don't have no class to it. So you can't take nothing away from your club, being honest, especially to a young player like Sesko, who, let's be real, he's not proven anything. You don't come into a top team and start for anyone. I'm pretty sure.
But to tell him he's going to play shifts at left wing? To tell him he's going to play shifts at left wing? That's crazy. I would say that
too. We should be signing a striker right now and telling that striker, you're coming in to take Solanke's spot. And we should be telling Solanke, yeah, you've played good this season, but this striker's coming in to take your spot. And if you're not good enough, he will take your place. You need competition.
You know what, I think looking back at it, I think it's a little bit of copium from to the Arsenal fan base, because we all know we need more depth in that position, but they basically sold us on Havertz and Jesus is good enough to go and win us the league, and if we can get a winger, we'll get one, but if we don't get a winger, we'll panic buy with Raheem Sterling. And it got to a point where, bro, Raheem Sterling, I was literally on my knees begging for them to get him signed.
No, hey, bro, you think I didn't see that tweet earlier? You think I didn't see Lee put the eyes in it? And I was like, oh, I remember this one. Man, you said that Sterling's going to have a better season than Sancho. Oh, my God. What do you have to say about that one ago now?
Hypothetically speaking.
You admit you're definitely wrong. Do you admit you're wrong? Come on. Sancho's
right now, 100% I'm wrong. No debate.
But you know that you're going to be wrong, even at the end of the season.
Yeah, probably 9 times out of 10. Ooh, yo, big news. Out of nowhere, as we're talking about Kolo Muani, some news just dropped. Kolo Muani is getting closer to a move to Juventus.
Yeah,
that you know what that means? That means Vlahovic could be joining Arsenal, bro.
Yeah, no, to be fair, all the news that I have seen has been that he's been leaning on that move to Juventus a bit closer. That's the team that he's looking at going. So I wouldn't be surprised. I will say that.
One of the guys that I'm following that is close to a board member at Arsenal was speaking about Vlahovic and saying, bro, they're really pushing for Vlahovic because Juventus have given the green light for him to leave. And out of all the potential transfers this window, if Kolo Muani goes to Juventus, that's a domino, and that could mean Vlahovic.
Both of those would be loans with obligations. Yeah, I can imagine Vlahovic being a good loan with like a 55 million obligation. But that's the problem, though. I do think, guys, if you do make that signing, and you got Zubimendi coming in already in the summer, your club's more than likely not to sign anyone in the summer. They're like, yeah, we've done the business.
No. Once again, George, you're mistaken because you got to remember what I just said to you about the contracts. Trossard wants to leave. Jesus is out of contract. Raheem Sterling's out of contract. Partey, Jorginho, that is 100K, 100K, another 200K. That's 400K right there. Another 600K.
Now you're looking at the numbers instead of looking.
I'm just looking at the wages. 1 second. I'm just looking at the wages, right? Then you have another player here who's on 150. So that is 750K in wages. Even if we give Vlahovic and Thing, say a total of 150, we still have 400K to work with.
Vlahovic is already 150K a week.
No, I'm saying Vlahovic, we give him say 150 or 200K.
150, yeah.
And you give the other man 150. Say the two of them together is 300K a week. The two of them, right? We still have another 400K in wages where we can sign some quality players, and we don't need too many. If we promote Ethan to the attack, we can sign 2 players and put them on 200K each.
Makes sense.
And the wages is the main reason why they were not making moves in the summer. They were basically saying,
I think Jesus won't be moving though. That's the thing, and I don't feel obviously you're not going to cover.
But when you're injured, obviously you're going to keep the player until they recover until January. But it's not a thing where they're on your books for an extended period. Trossard, Jesus, going into this season, we were not going to get another forward unless one of them left. And all the signs were saying Jesus to Saudi, could that happen? No. Trossard to Saudi, could that happen? Only if we bring somebody in. And we couldn't bring anyone in of quality, so we kept them. And that's where I think Arsenal made a mistake. We should have maybe shifted off Jesus and brought in Sesko and guaranteed him some minutes.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I hear it. I do think these doors are going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Obviously, ideally, if you get those players in, things can change. But do we actually think they're going to happen with Arsenal?
This is what I need from Arsenal. A left winger, a striker, Zubimendi, and one more midfielder. That's 4 players, plus promote Ethan to the attack, promote Mazzucchelli to the midfield, and in the defense, we're going to get rid of Zinchenko, we're going to get rid of Tomiyasu, we're going to get rid of one of Kivior or somebody like that, and bring in one more goalkeeper again, because Neto, he's not a real backup keeper.
I think you got to keep. Is this not going to be the 4th or 5th backup goalkeeper you're saying? He's signed 5 goalkeepers at this point already.
Bro, Neto is literally a dancer, bro. He don't do nothing.
Well, why have you signed 5 goalkeepers then? Why is Arteta done?
We don't have a backup keeper right now. We've signed 2 of them.
Signing new backup goalkeepers?
Because it's tough to find a goalkeeper that wants to back up unless they're very young. Maybe we should give some of the youngsters the opportunity to be the real backups. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely.
If anything happens to Raya, though, we're kind of screwed. Right now, we're fine, though, hopefully. As for the game itself, what are you saying? Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not too concerned about this game as I would be going into another game, because you guys are so open defensively. You're gonna give us goals.
Yeah, no, we're definitely open defensively, and I think that the game could go either way at times. But the way that I'm looking at it is there's going to be a lack of quality in teams just in general. For this game, we're not going to have our best team available. You're not going to have your best team available. So there's always going to be chances. It's going to be open. Though I think that I'm quietly confident. I'm growing in confidence, going closer and closer to the game. I can take something from that Liverpool performance to show me that this team does have some gut and it does have some, there's some passion in there, like when they want to do it properly. But to get to that point, it's usually when Spurs don't have pressure on them. Tomorrow there's a lot of pressure because we've got the opportunity to put the nail in the coffin of your season and really put the pressure on your manager and show them that, boy, if Spurs can beat us right now, our gaff, then anyone can, because this is not a good Spurs team. So I'm quietly confident, but I do not going to write off Arsenal because ultimately you guys have the set pieces, man. Paella Pulis, he's been doing up the coaching. A man like Yova, obviously they got the mural for him, so you already know that he's a legend over there for a reason. And Arsenal can be dangerous from that. Tottenham don't have big players right now, no centre backs, so you can definitely bully us and use your physicality in those certain points. But yeah, I'm just thinking it's going to be one of those games where it generally could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised. I said yesterday on when I done my preview of League Honor that I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 0-0. But obviously, it's very hard to ever get a 0-0 in the North London derby. I think it's only happened like once in a very long time. Like it never happens.
Okay, fair enough.
What do you say?
I'm going. So you said 1-1, right? Am I wrong?
I said no. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 0-0, but 1-1 was my prediction. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just confused there. As for me, I think defensively you guys are going to be open, and you're going to give us a goal where our whole game plan is going to be shut up shop, play defensive, give you the ball. We don't care that we're at home. We just want to win, right? We need to gain some confidence back. And I do think with an 18-year-old and a center back, a backup center back, and a midfield that's not 100% put together, our strengths are your weaknesses, and your strength, which is your attack, is our weakness. So in a game where it's attack versus defense, I think defense usually wins.
Yeah, if your defense has been good, but as of recently, you can't really say that. Any your defense has had some holes, and the Manchester United game showed that more than anything.
We conceded one goal, and it was against the run of play. Honestly, you're going to need to be extremely clinical to score against us. Teams that have been scoring against us lately have been extremely clinical. It's not like we've been giving away howlers. I know Gabriel slipped in that previous game, but majority of the games some of the goals that we've been conceding are pretty good goals. So I'm not saying Tottenham can't score against us, but if we're gonna, my game plan would be 1-0, get out of there. That's how I think we would have to do it. Or I would be shocked if we smashed you guys like we've done in the past couple of seasons. When Aubameyang was there, I'll be shocked if we did that. If we went and won 3-0 and Liverpool were to drop points, everyone would be saying Arsenal's back in the title race. But if we smash and grab, as I think we can, I think it's going to be a close game. On the and the difference is going to be, as you said, set pieces, or just the fact that we have first choice defense or some of our first choice defenders, unlike you.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the thing. I'm gonna have to lean on my best players.
Would you rather have a rotated Tottenham attack or rotated Tottenham defense? Be honest.
To be fair, we've got most of our attack here. It's just some of the attackers we have, innit? Like, we don't have the ability to change them and add something off the bench. But we will tomorrow with Richarlison back and Mikey Moore back and there's a few more options back now for this game. But I'd rather have what we have than you do at the moment, just because Spurs' defense isn't as solid. For you guys, I understand, because your attack isn't as fluid as ours is, whereas ours we score a lot of goals, we concede a lot, whereas you guys don't concede a lot, but you don't score a lot at times as well. So I'd lean on us having our best attack, especially against your team. And like I said, against the run of play, that's where Spurs can take advantage tomorrow. Spurs haven't been playing such a high line, high intensity system where we're pressing consistently. So I think you'll see those adjustments, and those adjustments can cause you problems tomorrow.
Fair enough. Let's talk about the final thing. What are we saying about that commercial you just seen? If you guys didn't see it, Google Pixel had a commercial where Sol Campbell was there, and he went from wearing Tottenham white sweater to a red Arsenal sweater, and he's basically referring to the transfer from one club to another. And you can see him walking, taking off his shirt, putting on his red shirt, and walking into a room full of trophies. Hilarious, hilarious. Talk to me.
He's just a dirty, scummy guy. Everything about him. And then he will sit there and say, "Oh, I don't know why they don't like me, the Spurs fans. I'm not really sure because of this shit." He's a dirty, dirty scum of the earth, Judas. I don't even want to say anything more, but
he's milking it. Let him enjoy it.
He's been, but the thing is, he's not been milking it up till now. He always asks, "Oh, why do Spurs fans hate me? Why do Spurs fans? I was an academy kid. How come I was Spurs through and through back in the day, bro? I ain't want to, bro. He's scum of the earth, bottom of my shoe. And if I ever see him, I would tell him the exact same thing. Dirty, dirty scum. I wouldn't even shake his hand. I wouldn't even want to interview him. I tell him, bro. And yeah, and let me not even say too much, but
you know the best part about it is that he annoys you guys that much. Probably how Manchester.
And you know what? You know the funniest thing about it? I wasn't even watching Tottenham when the move happened. I was too young. But I know just from reading everything, going through everything, and seeing how he's been throughout my time of watching, he's just dirty scumbag. Like I didn't even live through it, but I know the feeling, and I just hate him. I hate him.
Oh man, Sol Campbell talking about the transfer window and using the Google Pixel device. Hilarious. Honestly, it's really good advert though.
It gets good advertising from them.
It gets people triggered. Especially during the North London Derby weekend. But we're gonna wrap it up here. We got your video coming up in a minute, so guys, go check it out over there. We're gonna redirect to it, and big up to everyone who's joined us. Hopefully you enjoy the day of football today before the North London Derby, because it's gonna be stressful tomorrow. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Love, people. Peace. Done now. You guys already know what it is, people. Really do appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing lately. And we're going to head over to George's channel. So make sure you guys say North London is red in the chat. Go do that.